Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses dot parts with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode, so see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. What an episode. There was not much action in it or stuff like that, but we got a lot of informations and a lot of new characters as well. And we got this lovely little map over here, which gives me finally a little bit like a view where in this world we are. There was even a bigger version, like a continental map, I would say. But I chose to just check that one first. So let's talk about it first. In the middle of it we have the sealed cave, which is very clearly the one that Rimuru popped into this world in. So this is where we found our good friend, the Tempest, the Storm Dragon, Veridora, and ate all those healing potions and magic crystals. Which means all around that is the Great Forest. Lake Sis is on the right of it, which is where the lizard men are. We have somewhere below Lake Sis, it looks to me like another cave, but it is a bit too big. I'm not sure what it is meant to be, so possibly we'll learn about that in the future. The Kanat Mountains is where the armed nation of Dworgen is, so the king, which we've met, who is our ally by now. So kind of the positive thing about the position that the forest is in is that the north is by now secure. More neither. I've seen on the world map that on top of this mountain of the Kanat Mountains there is a symbol of like a dragon, so possibly that's something that's coming in the future. On the left hand side, so towards the west, we have Blumund and Falmouth as kingdoms, and both of them are in this episode by now. So the kingdom of Blumund we had in the past already is where the adventurers came from. And the kingdom of Falmouth is considered to be a huge trading nation. So those are the two closest kingdoms, and they are both now sending, let's call it diplomats or spies, whatever you want, someone to investigate what's going on. And they seem to have the option to kind of make some, if needed, diplomatic agreements there. That's cool. More to the west we have the kingdom of Ingracia, and I see on the map like a small part of which might be the sign for a huge city or something like that. So I guess they are more powerful, but that's wild guess, as I said. So let's jump back. Nope, there it is. So this is a world map. Now, if I see that Tempest is named the, they already put it in there. So it's possibly a map that is meant to be more in the future, I guess. Because right now we are just the forest and not that far into the west. I don't know why. And there's the dragon I meant on top of it. Yeah, the western provinces. So this kingdom I named the last time at the end now is shown with like a huge capital. So I guess they are a very, very influential nation. And we have in the Barrenlands another castle. And I'm not sure, it might be that it's the castle where we have seen the Demon Lord in now, Clayman. Or it might be something else. Just saying, there is something important for the future. I guess this huge world map, or continental map, we will not need now at least. It is something in the future. Okay, so much about that. Let's talk about the episode, however. So we encountered new characters, which I partially wrote down by now. We have Hume, who is joining us, which is cool. So Hume and his men, so he has a young mage, I would guess, or might be a priest, but I think it is a mage. A second in command, a fighter, Kagir, and a lot of additional men, like 10, 15 people, who are trained at arms, so they are able to pass through a forest like that. at least, which is already some skill level because you need to be able to defend yourself in this world. So they come along to check what's going on, and that was interesting. He said that he wanted to use this mission to make it look as though they all died, so that they then can go somewhere else where it is more peaceful. And that's interesting, because that means that the kingdom of Falmouth, where he's from, is having possibly troubles. Either the kingdom itself is not a place he wants to be in, so like, I don't know, the bureaucracy or a lot of warmongering or people in power he does not like, or the kingdom is threatened by outside forces, and that's why he wants to leave, because he sees like no option to win and survive, which is like a little bit in the future, so very likely that we will encounter that problem in the future episode or season, I don't know. So I got that. Additionally, we have our 3 adventurers there again, including their equipment. And I wrote him down, but I think I forgot him. Whatever, the leader of this adventurer guild from Blue Moon, who was there as well. So, and he already kind of agreed to some sort of trading deal, so that they can pass borders. I mean, Rimuru offered him open borders, but normally if you offer open borders, you receive open borders as well. And the option to pass through this forest is very likely a good thing for anyone who's trading, because otherwise you would have to make a long distance around it, which increases travel time. Thus the value of your trading goods is just not the one that you could have while passing through the forest. Not forgetting the fact that with the city in the middle of the forest now, you really have an option where you can trade additionally, like a new market. There are a lot of living there who might be interested in purchasing your stuff. So 2 new options there. 1 trade deal which is more neither already sealed, I would say. The one for Hume, however, it feels more like he is purchasing them, the mercenaries there, and making them loyal to him. Talking about Rimuru, where there's a question if this will cause any problems with Falmouth, or if they're even realizing it. I don't know. We had a short moment of a night spider popping up and being instantly killed by Gopta and prepared to be food. A lot of food. I mean, the question is how often you can do that until the forest is empty of monsters. You really have to check a little bit there that you are not doing too much. But then that is something that we all know that the Druids, not the searching for the name Dryads, are doing. So it's their job to make that sure that they are not harvesting too much and not killing too much of the monsters and animals, so that they can replenish over time. I think this night spider, the monster popping in there, possibly is a food source that is granted by the forest. You just have to be able to kill it, right? Which Gopta, as we see now, can do. And it shows that Gopta has grown a lot by now. So he's even, I mean, just look how he rode in there. He was confident. He knew what he's able to do, so that's cool. You can see him evolving. And when they talked about the healing potion in the beginning of the episode, they showed him as example for the effects of a healing potion as well. Which brings me to the healing potion. So the problem they have there is that, I mean, luxury problem, first world problem. Vesta was able to produce a healing potion which is equivalent or as good as the one that Rimuru is creating. So the dwarves created 98%, which is awesome already, and he is able to add another percent to create 99, a full healing potion. So they named them lower, higher, and full healing potion. I guess it is just by hit points, by life. the higher healing potion is already enough, but I guess the full healing potion does, although it is only 1%, this additional effect of that you are back up completely, that possibly even like broken bones, or as we've seen for the goblin leader, that it even heals wounds away. So it just not gives you back life force, it additionally gives you kind of a regeneration, you could say. I'm just guessing here about those two, about the difference in those two potions, because they did not really make it clear. They just showed it by a filling health bar, which is the big one, the higher potion, while the full healing potion is shown as Gopta shining with light, which is like, okay, you look cool while you're being healed. So I just guess it's way more potential. It has way more potential there. So Vesta already did it. I guess there is a bit of time that went by since he arrived, but because it would be strange if he is like arriving in the city, making some experiments, and after 3 days he's just like finished. That would be weird, because then he should have been able to do it in the Dwarven Kingdoms as well. So I guess there's at least some weeks going by here, if not more. And the question now is, what do you do with such potions? So sure, you can sell them. The question is, how much does the creation cost? So is it a potion that many people can afford or not? And if you're selling such incredibly high value potions, you might destroy the market for everything else below, if you're selling it for a reasonable price. So let's say those lower potions, which you need for, as he showed, like a cut finger, or you got a minor wound from a fight, something like that, right? A low potion is already good enough. You don't need higher ones. So if those go for, I don't know, for 1 gold, let's say, and you bring in a full healing potion for 2 gold, no one will buy the lower anymore. It's this just in case. I will buy the bigger ones, and it's even better. Or it's at least more unlikely that they will buy low ones. Though they kind of questioned if it wouldn't be efficient to just sell these to adventurers who are in need of stuff like that. And speaking of that, it means if you are an adventurer, you will possibly have a wide range of different potions there. So if you are in a really, really tough fight, you will need at least a high potion or a full potion. Because if you're about to die, a low one will not cut it anymore. But if you had just like a long fight or a minor fight, and you still want to heal up, you don't want to waste the big ones. So there is a market for everything if the prices are correctly designed. And thus they got the idea of asking Dworgen if they would be allowed to produce low healing potions that the nation of Dworgen is producing themselves now. Now about that. I guess they are asking because they think they do have better options to produce them. So mass production, right? Thus they can make them a bit cheaper and stuff like that. And Dworgen would be the one gathering herbs and everything, and then they just trade it like 1-to-1, you know? And thus they are allied. They will possibly make a reasonable price to their allies. I can see that. From the position of Dworgen, however, I don't know why I should do that. I mean, yes, if Rimuru and Vesta can produce them way cheaper, and thus it will be more cost efficient for me, I will think about it. But still, as a sovereign nation, you should try to be at least a little bit self-sufficient. So you should try to create your own potions, armor, weapons, food, stuff like that. So being completely dependent on another nation is a dangerous thing. So I'm not sure. They will possibly say yes because they're allied, and I guess it will be cheaper for them that way. Question is if this is not kind of tipping over a balance that we have. Because the king already said, you will be more powerful in the future. You have the potential. And if the city is now getting more and more production, and now they're producing the potions, next that will be they will be producing high value armors and weapons, which they are already able to, but in a huge amount then closes, then due to the fact that the forest is so huge, more food. This balance is shifting, and it will be over time that Dworgen will be not only weaker, but dependent on Rimuru, which from the view of Rimuru is great, but many nations will not stand for that, because that's dangerous. You can conquer the world in many ways. You can do it by sword, or you can do it by money. So if you are the biggest producer and the biggest trader, people will envy you and will watch what you are doing and will try to get their share of your wealth. So that's something I'm looking out for right now, because the Kingdom of Falmouth was said to be a trading nation. So they will have an eye on that as well. So much about that. We have the Demon Lords stepping in now, and although they promised not to interfere, they are. I mean, sure, they are. So Clayman sent some of his men in there, and they got smashed, as it should be, because they acted not so much of a surprise like dickheads, because they are used to be the ones in power. So they act like that because they never learned to behave, I guess. They got shown how to do it, and surprisingly, Rimuru did not pat the head of our little Milim, but instead kind of threatened her to take away her food if she's not behaving. I think she did fine, she just overreacted a little bit. But he really has on a leash there when it is about food and being besties and everything. Now, she's clearly doing what he wants, but we should never underestimate what she's capable of. So if she ever feels like he is using her, like he's betraying her or belittling her, that might be a dangerous moment then, because she clearly is powerful. It was interesting to see that like everyone in this council that we had later on, let's check if I can see it. Yeah, there we are. What about just checking. Okay, that's okay. Is doubting Rimuru as being the leader. It's a thing that they are not used to any slime being of such power, and they're not able to see it. And the others who are around him that he named are powerful themselves, as you can see. That's something you can, I guess, kind of realize at least. Those seem to be powerful and influential people. So that's a problem that Rimuru possibly will have for maybe ever, and at least until his name is kind of renowned throughout all of the world. And he realized that another problem is that him being the one that beat the Orc Lord, which is partially Demon Lord already, is causing problems, because that's why people are coming to the forest to check who is that one. When there's someone influential being killed or taken over, whatever, by someone unknown, people are like, what's going on, and are searching for you. And this is drawing unwanted attention. So by giving this win to Hume, and then just stating that the little slime helped them, he's trying to get the empathy from people. He's trying to be the friendly slime from the neighborhood, helping out, you know, while the real hero was Hume, who killed or his people and him. It's a clever move. I like it. I can see why he's doing it, although I kind of question if it is maybe a little bit too late. But at least for the common people, it is the right move, because the most of the common people will possibly not be willing to accept a slime as a savior, a positive being, you know. While if a human hero did it and a slime helped, this is a typical hero story, and they will be like, wow, the hero. And funny side note, there is this nice slime who helped. It's fitting more for human minds, I guess. So as I said, nice idea. So what's about to come? We have another Harlequin, Tyr, full name, who is a little girl again, it seems, right? She has someone called Footman at her side. I guess we will meet him soon. And she's about to be sent to the Forest of Ura to check what the heck's going on there. So once again, someone trying to spy on us. Clayman is clearly working in different ways there. He's trying to find different ways to approach this Forest of Ura problem of his. And how to handle it. I'm a bit surprised that he is not trying to do it openly, like, I mean, in the meaning of that he's coming there just to talk, not fight. Because the fact that Milan changed sides should be something he should be considering more, I think. But we got a little foreshadowing about something called Charybdis. And if I would have googled that, I would have known that it is something ancient which is not from this series only. I'm pretty sure it is something, I don't know, Greek mythology or stuff like that. It rings a bell, but I do not really remember what it is. However, it looked like a huge flying thing, like a manta or something like that. So the question is if or if not we finally have a return of someone that we are waiting for, at least I am, to make clear to clearly state that the sky only belongs to one, and that is a dragon. We will see. It is meant to be as powerful as Demon Lords, so that's a dangerous threat then. Let's see what it is and what it wants, I guess. That's it from me this time. I hope you liked. I did for sure. So until the next time. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.